Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pepper. As you can see, I'm at Lesky. The last couple of days, I've been introducing ships in the game on the free fly weekend. Well, the free fly weekend is over now, and I still didn't get through all the ships. Now, going through them ships, actually, it's a little bit boring. I understand, but I am going to finish it off. I need to think of a way of finishing it off. But one of the viewers yesterday made a comment about something to do with a £200 ship, and I've spent 7k. I think there was a misunderstanding, and I did say I was going to come back on today and try to explain. And if he's on, I'd like him to pass a comment back so we can see what's gone wrong. Sorry, I got all this noise in the game in my head there. I'm just waiting for the little miss at the moment.
Everything is working okay as far as I can see.
Good morning, little miss.
Good morning, Papa.
Oh, why is it I'm always going the wrong way?
Initiating ship storage procedure. For your safety, please vacate the area. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, sorry about the silence there. I will open up this one. Yeah, what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about the Mercury. I'm also going to be mentioning Montoya's name in this too, okay? And we're also going to be talking about ship prices and what they are going to cost in game when they come out. Now, I've got some figures from 2016, and that's the only price can go along. Well, I can fly a ship, but it's going to take too much concentration flying the ship and also talking about ship prices, which I think is very important. Okay? Right. As we all know, one of the chaps yesterday mentioned, can't even show you the picture till the end actually, something to do with about I spent 7k in game and I'm giving advice to somebody for something for £200. I didn't quite understand what he meant by that, okay? I wasn't taking it out of offence, I just had trouble understanding. Sorry, I've got no paperwork in front of me, so it's a little bit difficult for me to explain. And if anybody's typing anything in the chat, I'm going to have a little bit difficult getting back to that too. Okay. Well, I started this game roughly about a year ago. I have never spent that kind of money on this game, or any game in my life. This game, I've invested nearly 15 grand. I don't mean 15 grand in the game, I don't mean 15 grand in the PC, but in total, 5k in games, or going up to, I say it's 5k in ships, 5k on PC, and 5k on other bits of hardware, joysticks, etc. I think you know where I'm coming from. Okay? That was my budget for the game. How I went about it, that was my choice. Basically, I got a bit carried away. Well, when I first started in Star Citizens, I had to go for a couple of PCs because one didn't work and I wanted to make sure that the game was right. Well, the first ship I bought was the Freelancer, and trust me, I thought that was a heck of a lot of money, £112 or something like that. It was a lot of bloody money. But I didn't want to start off in an Aurora or something like that. I did miss sums. I said, no, I'm not going to be happy in that because of this. I'm not going to be happy in that because of that. Blah, blah, blah. What do I want to be? I want to be an explorer in the game. Okay, we understand that. As time went by, flying this ship, The wing fell off. I got blew up. This is not the ship for me. So from there, I went straight into the Constellation. Well, that was a big, massive jump from £100 to £270. I must have been crazy. I've never spent nothing like that in a game in my life. Right, as I started to play the game, I started to like the game. I played hours and then read YouTube, listened to my friends, etc. and etc. Now, there's a lot of ships that I wanted for various reasons, which I'll display in the game later on and whatnot, but they wasn't advertised. But I got told by friends these ships were going to be coming out at Christmas. Okay, so I sat down, worked out how much I was going to spend and why I'm buying these ships. Okay, that's easy. Okay, I bought the ships that I wanted, I was happy with, but I didn't spend all my money that I wanted on the ships because obviously still not too sure. This Christmas is coming up again. The ships that I've not got in game, I will be purchasing. Okay? The point I'm trying to make out is, I've got small ships now, and I've got big ships. I use the small ships to upgrade to the big ships. So for instance, if I want the Icarus, okay, because it's medical, let's keep it simple, I would have bought the Cutlass Red, which I did do. There's more reasons than that. Now the Apollo's come out, I traded the Apollo for the Cutlass Red. Okay, that's about 100 quid, whatever it takes. As
The
you can
other
see.
way round.
Well, whichever. Oh, sorry, I thought this little bit had gone. So as you can see, I've upgraded and I've upgraded. Now the Endeavour's out. As you know, the Apollo came out, they had three prices. They had the Apollo for £200, they had the next upgrade for say 500 quid. I looked into the upgrade, it had the Cutlass Black, it had the Cutlass Blue, it had this. I said to myself, I don't need them ships, because those ships are free in the game as loaners, so why do I want to invest another £300? Okay, I sacked that idea. So I said, well, I want the Endeavour because it's got the medical things in there, and it's got certain things in there that's LTI. But it was 1,500 quid. So I checked the price again. To buy the Endeavour, it's about £350. So why am I spending £1,500 again for ships that I don't want or don't need? Okay? So that was the reason why I decided to get the Cutlass, the Apollo. So at Christmas, when the ship comes out, I will buy the Endeavour, and it'll cost me another £150 to upgrade, 350 quid, whatever. I've got me Apollo, so I've got me Endeavour. But the thing about it is, the ship is LTI. This is what I mean by upgrade. Okay? Now, I do have a set big figure of mind in what I want to spend, because I haven't got my gold suit yet. Okay? I want my gold suit, but I'm not going to spend it in a daft such a way. Okay? Now, there's confusion between buying something and upgrading. I am upgrading because I like what I see and I like what I want. I'm upset because the game's not out. I'm not upset because the ships are not ready. But there's problems, as you can see, with LTI, ships insurance, etc. and etc. It's very, very confusing. Okay? Now, I've got £1,000 locked in this game because I made a mistake. I'm not saying I don't want to give CIG any money, okay, because I've got to pay staff. But the way I have done it, or will be doing it, I will be making a contribution to through the game. When I am ready to lock my funds into the game, when they've got the ship that I want, Bengal carrier, which isn't going to happen, then obviously I'm going to have to melt and buy that ship, because I've got all these good ships, and I'm not going to spend another £4 in the game to buy this ship, because I can melt my ship and buy that, and I can last that in the game. But what you guys don't seem to understand, when I say I'm making a contribution to CIG, I am. I'm not in Elden special packages and whatnot, but when I am up, I buy my ships from brand new, Okay, and when I buy my ships from brand new, when I upgrade, as you already will know, they're slapping on an extra fee for 10 or 20 pound or whatever. So if the ship comes out LTI and it's say £100 and you want to upgrade, they're not selling that ship for £100, they're selling that ship for say 130 quid. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I know that £30 I'm not getting back and I want to upgrade. So I upgrade, I've lost that on 30 quid. But no, I have not. I've made a contribution to CIG for the work they've done. Now I haven't got one ship, I've got loads of ships. Okay, now you start adding that up, it does come to a couple of hundred quid, 300-400 pounds, and how many times I upgrade over the time on them same ships. So yes, for me, they're making something. Okay, now I won't melt my ships and lock my ships into this game, because if something goes wrong, I need to find a way to sell my ships. I made the contributions and I'm happy. Okay, but if something goes wrong, I need to get my money back one way or the other, because CIG might be going bust. No, that's not going to happen. Okay, if I thought that, I wouldn't spend my money. Okay, but as you can see, and a lot more people don't seem to understand, no, all the time they are making contributions. So don't let anybody think that you are not. It's how you spend your money at the end of the day what makes you feel comfortable. Just give me 1 second and I'll get back to you. Within reason. Sorry about that. So that is how I plan to spend my money. I have made a mistake on one of my ships, that's a Pioneer. I'm sure when I explained to them, when I bought the Pioneer, it was a mistake. I wanted to get it on LTI, but I know they're going to sort it out at the end of the day. They're not going to be difficult, but we can expect the worst. So at the same time, I'm doing streaming, right? When I'm doing these streamings, I'm also bringing in revenue for Star Citizens. So I'm helping them in a way, but at the end of the day, that's not why I'm doing it, because I like the game, but it's also promoting this game. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't like it, and this is how I feel as somebody like you wanting to know how much to spend. Another comment was made yesterday. So I'm not moving around, because I can't play and move at the same time, you see. Another comment was made yesterday about ships. As I explained, it says, if somebody was to buy the Mercury, for instance, for £200, it's a good buy. I think I was misunderstood. What I should have said, if you look at certain ships in the same category, okay, that is money well spent. What I mean is, right, I've not got the papers in front of me actually. If you look at the Constellation, okay, it's got a lot of things in there, but just look at the price of Constellation, 300 quid, okay? Same cargo space, we just use one variable, let's keep it simple. Okay, that ship's 200 quid, the other ship we've got there is 300 quid. What's the other ship? Maneuverability. Okay, now the only ship I could class that in with as maneuverability would have been a Freelancer, okay, because of the size it is. We know the ship's light, but use the size. How much is that ship? That's about 100 quid. But that's two ships there now in one, that's 350. There was a third ship, what was it? I haven't got the papers. There was a third ship. The Cutlass? No, I think it might have been the Cutlass actually. Okay, the Cutlass is £100. Okay, now I can't remember what it was, but there was three ships. Sorry, my mistake. Yes, it's the Harrow. Okay, it's got data run plus twice as much. Okay, that's £100. Now you put them three ships together, that's about £400 worth of ship to do individual jobs. Yes, this is not going to be the best at all of them, but is you going to have fun plus pleasure? That was where I was coming from. I've got all these ships and I had to take into account what I was going to spend and why. Okay? Now there are a couple of these things that I didn't like about it. One, I don't want to get rid of my Harold. Okay, the Harold's got a top speed. It's zippy. Okay, the Harold has got a top speed of 1400. The Mercury has got a top speed, I think it's about 1050. Now I know it's pretty fast, but you still got them other ships that can catch you. They ain't catching the Harold. Okay? They're not catching the Harold. That's why I looked at it. Now let's talk about zippiness. The Harold is zippy, but we couldn't class the Harold with this ship for zippiness, because don't forget, a new class of ships are coming out now where if you just press the turbo booster, it zips here and it zips there. I will use the 600i as an example. I can't use the Harold, okay, because that's been out a long time. All these new ships are coming out now will be zippy. The Apollo is zippy, okay, but the top speed isn't the highest it should be. But I think you know where I'm coming from. Well, we put ships in classes with ships, so I do know one thing before it comes out. The ship is going to be zippy. I'm not saying it's going to be fast. It'll be quicker than most ships, but where it counts, it's not going to have the speed. Okay, you've got cargo run. As you already well know, it can do cargo run at the same quantity as the Andromeda. Okay, it can do more. It's zippy like the Apollo. It's got the same data storages as the Harold. Okay. Drawback is, one of the drawbacks is they say it can't hold a cyclone. I do believe it can, because the cyclone, if you put two Noxes in there, which is the same size as the cyclone, basically the Nox is 5 meters long, the cyclone's 5 meters long. If you can put two cyclones side by side at 24 inches, that's roughly about 48 inches wide, that's nearly about 4 meters wide. It's going to fit. That's the way I see it. Okay. Now there was also another question that was mentioned by Monteo yesterday. It was talking about wormholes. This ship can fit through medium wormholes. Oh yeah, so we forget about we talk about agile now. I believe that the Mercury will be very agile because of the way it's streamed. I put that in the same class as the cutlass black. Okay. Reason being, the ship is light. It's got these it's light. It's got thrusters on it that can compensate, and when it's going from side to side, it's more aerodynamically built. So when it comes to maneuverability, it'll be dodging missiles like nobody's business. If you can see where I'm coming from. The ship is a medium ship, okay, but that ship feels like it's a TARDIS. It's big on the inside. It's light, maneuverability and whatnot. But one other thing I think, right, is I'm not saying they should put size 4 guns on there or whatnot, because the first thing what will happen, that will bump up the prices. But what I think they should do is put gimbals on there, so they've got the variability to put a size 5 gun on there if they wish. Okay, but they've got size 3 on there. Now where I'm going to come from on that price issue, do you remember when Hercules came out and they were selling 700 quid and they had the cheap one there for 300 quid? You guys didn't understand how the price was made up. If you was to strip the Hercules C, the Hercules F, or whatever the names are, strip it right down to the bottom, bare bones, that ship would only cost, say, roughly about £200. Okay? Now, as they're adding weapons on the ships, I'm talking about components, everything, the ship is, we talk about the Hercules now, the ship is only £200, theoretically. You start adding, sorry about me jumping there, You start adding the weapons in that it costs. The guns cost this amount of credits, you add that in. The bombs cost this amount of credits, you add that in. You add this in, it comes in. Okay? That is how the price, I believe, this price is made up. Okay? So that's why the Hercules for £700 came to that price. Okay? And the other one was only 300 quid. But if we stripped it, bear right back, the ship would have only been 200 quid. Now, most of the viewers don't seem to understand that. They just say, you're getting this free, you're getting that free. You're getting the Rover free, you're getting that. It's all worked into the price. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to say it's free. Because we look at things in a different way. Oh, it's free. I'm going to buy it. I had a friend once, right? They've got this supermarket down, about 3 miles down the road. Okay? And you've got the corner shop. We all know the corner shop's expensive. My friend comes to me and says to me, oh, I'm going to the supermarket. There's a big sale on 75% off or whatever. And I said to myself, yeah, I get that. And I understand that. But the time you will take to go 15 miles away and how much it costs you in petrol, which is cheaper? You're going all the way down there to Asda, that's going to take you nearly 45 minutes, or you go to the corner shop where it's going to work out cheaper because you don't have to get a bus, taxi or whatnot. She didn't get it. All she knew it was cheaper. Well, it's the same thing in this game, right? Because they say you're getting free, you've forgotten what you're paying for. And you do forget, you will forget, because I do it all the time. But if CJ thought about it, strip the ships to the bare bones, sell the ships, we will buy the components we want. It might cost a bit more, but we are happy because we know what we're paying for. But when some people don't understand the logic, that's 300 quid and that's £500. They don't know what to buy. That's why I didn't buy the Hercules, because the price was confused. Wasn't happy about it. I buy it now, but I don't know how just yet because I buy it for different reasons. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. Okay. Next subject is, let's talk about Montoya. Montoya hit a topic yesterday about the constellation being a large and the Mercury being a medium. Right, he also mentioned about going through jump holes. He says, so I'm trying to remember, that's why I'm just stuttering a tiny bit, I've not got no paperwork in front of me. He says to me that the constellation can go through large where the Mercury can only go through small, medium. Yeah, I get it, I understand. But what was confusing me, the Mercury is wider than the constellation by at least 10 meters. So does that mean the ship's going through sideways? That's a clarification that needs to be sorted out, because I know if an orange is a certain width or diameter and something's long, it has to change angles to go into. Now if this ship is wider than the constellation, okay, how can it fit through a small wormhole? A lower wormhole. It's not possible. Now, I know I'm in game. I'm going to show you an example here. Okay? I don't know, we see when switching screens, things usually go wrong. Right. I'm just going to compare that. As we know, that's faster. We know that already. And I'm going to compare the constellation. Okay? I can use other ships. Let me use another ship. What would be the same class? We'll use that. Okay? But the main thing I'm trying to say, that is a thinner ship than that. I will show you another picture why in a minute, okay? So that can go through a large wormhole, okay? And that can go through a medium wormhole, and that's wider. It doesn't make sense. Unless this is going through the wormhole sideways, okay? Right. Okay. Right, so bear with me, okay, please? Right, as you can see, this is the length of the constellation. This is the length of the Freelancer, and this is the length of the, what's that bloody ship called? The Mercury. Confirm it as you can see. I'm just trying to remember in my head, you see. Right, as you know, this goes through large, that goes through medium, that goes through medium. That's okay, I understand that. Okay? But this ship, that ship, is wider than the Andromeda, as you can see. Sorry, my mistake. 26 meters wide. Okay? That's 38. Now, in any way you turn it, in any angle you turn that, it's not going to be less than that. If you look at the length, they're almost identical, okay? But the point is, this is wider, so it can't go through a medium jump hole. I could have got it wrong. Let's use the height for instance. Same thing. Look at it, 9 meters, okay? It's smaller, okay? So is it the whole lot added together or what? This is what I need to understand. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. But I've always said, if you want to put a buckle top into a square, make sure the buckle top can fit in all dimensions. And if it can't fit, it's not going to go in there. And if you want to fit the square into the buckle top has to be smaller. The square has to be smaller than the buckle top. Now, if you're looking at this, trust me, that is wider than that. Now, I'm going to go get a page and I'm going to show you what I mean. I've got ship comparisons because I do this with all my ships. I compare them because I like to put ships in different ships. Downloads. Right. Okay, as you can see, this is the constellation and this is the Mercury. I know it's not got a better picture of it at the moment, but if you look very carefully, you can definitely see that is wider than that. So there's no way this can go through a medium wormhole. That can, okay? But if you check the width out on that, it's definitely smaller than that, which we'll go back to in 1 second. I didn't check that actually. I'm glad it was mentioned. Right, the width. It'd be 23. Okay? So that is logical. Am I right? 23. Yes, 23. Where is it? 23. As you can see, it's pretty close to that, but that says large. So how the hell can that fit through a medium? Okay, which is stated. I'm not being funny, okay, it's just the way I'm expressing myself, because the more I look at it, that can fit through a medium. It's not possible unless I miss something. We're not going to use weight, we're not going to use kilograms, we're not going to use length, we're just going to use the diameter or the circumference. In any way you try to fit it through that box or whatever, it's not going to fit. You can turn it sideways, you can turn it up ways, you can turn it long ways, it's not going to fit. And if it can't fit, that should be in the medium section and that should be in the large section. I don't know if anybody's passed any comments because I can't get through. The company says everything's working, so I don't know what's gone wrong. The company, you want to make any comments on any questions on this? Hello? Right. I don't even know if this is actually working because I've been switching screens. There was a lot I did want to say actually, basically. Okay. I think the company said I have internet problems. So basically, I've not answered the questions. I've tried to answer them the best way I can. But this is the one other thing before I go. Ship prices. Ship prices. Big controversy. You know these ships are going to be coming out very soon. Okay? And ship prices is a common factor. How much are these ships going to cost and why? Now, as you already well know, if you spend £5 in the game, you get 5,000 credits. If you spend £50 in the game, you get 50,000 credits. Okay? Now a lot of people's turning around and saying, well, when the game comes out, I'm going to be putting £30 in the game, blah blah blah, to buy these credits. But you don't know how much these ships are going to cost. Okay? Well, I've got a page up here from 2016. If I can find it. Right there. I don't know if you can see it or if you can read it. Okay? As you can see, 1,000 credits, blah blah blah. But the point I'm trying to make, how much will these ships cost in game? Okay? The Aurora will cost £20 to buy if you use money. And according to that, it's 4 times the amount, that's 80,000 aUEC credits. Okay, that's 2 years ago. Today they're about 40 quid. So obviously if it's 40 quid, that'd be 160 aUEC credits. Okay, now if you put that into normal money terms, okay, that will not work. Why? Because as you already well know, the Aurora, let's put the price of a car. Okay, it's a space vehicle, it's going to cost money. The Tesla is about 100,000. Okay? Now, what's that got to do with it? What I'm trying to say is the prices have to go up. Whatever the prices are, they have to go. Because there has to be some sort of realistic comparison. What I'm trying to say is, how long, I know, okay, we'll stick with these figures 2 years back. Because doing today's figures is going to get confusing. £20 it costs. Okay? I know it's UK, US dollars or whatnot, but I'm just going to convert it. Simple thing. The equation's still the same. £20 per the Aurora to buy, and if you want to buy it in game, it's 80,000. That's 4 times the amount. So 4 times the amount is £80. It would actually cost if you was to use aUEC credits. If you was to buy it, okay, 80 quid that would cost. All right. Now, in game terms or in real life terms, as you know, an Aurora would cost a heck of a lot more than in game, out of game or whatnot. So basically I would say that should be 8 times the amount. Why? Because when these ships start coming out, these ships can buy that before you can say Jack Robinson. I can make 80k with my Caterpillar in a day and buy that Aurora. Okay? I'm not saying this and I'm not saying that, okay? But you've been led to believe it's going to take you a week or take you a week not. Them prices need to be hyped up. I know people say, don't be saying that, Pepper. No, think about it, okay? You can't make the game too easy, okay? Now, if most players can make that in a day, the place is going to be littered with Auroras. But we're not going to be talking about the Aurora because we're going to come down to the Javelin, okay? That's 2,500,000. That should be billions, okay? Billions, not thousands, billions, okay? Because if a person had for instance, the whole E, okay? Did you know you can make that money back in a day to buy that javelin? Now how? I'm just going to use you a simple run, okay, which I know it's not going to be in the game because they're going to change the figures and the statistics. But for instance, let's take the whole E from Lesky to Port Olister using whatever they're using. You're making 2 million a trip on that alone. I know they've got the occasions and it will change. Now it's going to take you 15 trips to make that. Okay, 15 trips hypothetically would buy that. How long is it going to take him to make them 15 trips? I'm doing 5 trips an hour. Okay, I would have the javelin within a couple of days. Now, can you see where I'm coming from? Okay, the figures will be adjusted, but it won't be in thousands, it will have to be in billions, because they have to keep you guys interested. Because if you can make that kind of money in the game to buy that javelin, you're not going to spend £2,000 on the javelin. Because you know in real life, how long will it take you to make 2,500 in real life on that money? Some people who's deprived, it's going to take them roughly about a month. Unless you're a big tycoon like I used to be, it's totally different. But you can see where I'm coming from. So the prices there has to be 10 times what it says there, because there has to be a challenge for the players to make it. Because when these whole E's come out and you worked it out, how much is the whole E? 750 quid. You're going to find somewhere, you're going to buy that whole E first, in game or whatnot, and that whole E will buy the javelin in a couple of days. That's why these figures are the way they are. It's how I see it at the end of the day. I bought my ships for a reason. I'm going to be buying the whole E, okay? And I'm going to be pretty pissed when I see it in game and I can get it in a couple of hours or a couple of days, and it's cost me 750 quid. You see where I'm coming from now? So why buy it out of game? It's complicated. I can only play the game now. As far as I'm concerned, every 3 months the game will restart. Everything goes back to normal and I have to start all over again. I am not going to buy credits in game. I bought my ships to earn credits in game, where you've done it the other way around. Okay, that's my pleasure, that's my challenge. But looking at the figures there is no challenge, because them figures are too low, hypothetically. I know they've got the maths genius, but to know what I can make in the game, there is no challenges there. They are too low. And I know it's 2 years ago, so okay, let's double the javelin prices, 50 million, still too low. Okay? You know what I mean? But yes, you need a challenge and whatnot, but we need an idea so we can work on it. And we can talk about it, so when you want to put your prices in, you know exactly where you're coming from and how to be going about it. But these are things we need to talk about, because next couple of weeks, you're going to have ships in game. And you're going to find out, everybody's going to have Aurora within an hour. If I've got a Caterpillar, I'll have about 6 within about 2 hours. It's going to be littered. And the next patch comes in, you're going to be reducing the price. And people say, oh, I made a lot of Auroras last week and now I can't make shit. It's going to happen with the same with the javelin when these ships come out. Okay? So I'm just saying it's a topic that we all need to talking about now, so we all know where we're going and how difficult this game is going to be. This is too easy the way I see it. I know there's challenges and they're going to make it harder, I know that, but at the end of the day, let's look at it from what we can see now. I'm sorry I can't make any comments back on the pages because I haven't got the things on and the comments hasn't got back to me. But as you can see, I tried to explain most of it the best way I can. These are things I do when I am researching on the internet. I like to read other people's stuff, I like to comment on it. Now, if you see any of my stuff, feel free to use it, because I'm not very good at explaining things. But people like Newbie they sometimes get where I'm coming from and they put it into a context that you understand. Okay? But remember, at the day, I'm doing it because I like the game and I am trying to express it the way I see it. I haven't spent this money just for the sake of it. I spent it because I chose to. Okay? Anyway, Thanks for all that and goodbye. I might be coming back in a couple of hours.